CVFM. Bernie Does the Borough, proudly sponsored by Teesside's Healthy Living Pharmacies. There's always a pharmacy open near you 7 days a week. Ask your local pharmacist for free and confidential advice on smoking, alcohol, weight and sexual health issues. You don't even need an appointment. Visit teessidepharmacy.net to find out more. Get your opinions on the air and have your say on the Borough game. Bernie Does the Borough on CVFM. It's 5 p.m. and the games are finished. The scores are set. And now it's time to hear from the Northeast's football mouthpiece. It's time for the Alternative Radio Phone-In. 90 minutes of spleen-venting, honest opinion calls. Get involved with the biased banter by calling 01642 688 104. It's time for Bernie Does the Borough on CVFM.
Well, welcome to the Boro here on CVFM 104.5. You want to get involved there, your views 01642 688 104. Today ended Middlesbrough 1, Wigan Athletic 0. The game is a spectacle. I would have to say it was average. It was expected because obviously the nerves are playing a major part now. Wigan fighting for their lives, and we're obviously looking to get back into the Premier League. But we did score a goal, 19 minutes. It was Patrick Bamford, edge of the box, fairly central. He's hit it, it's took a deflection, and it's ended up nestled in the bottom right hand corner. It was a good goal. Thereafter, Bamford had a shot saved by the goalkeeper. Clayton hit one fizzed by the right hand post. That apart, not a great deal of action in the first half. Second half, chances became more prominent, and Wigan did come into the game and they had a couple of chances that they'll be disappointed they didn't convert. But we held on. We did have a couple of late chances and forays, didn't capitalise. But today it was all about the result, getting the 3 points. So 3 points, clean sheet. We're still sitting top. At the minute, Bournemouth is a dashed into the studio from the Riverside. We're getting beat 1-0 away at Ipswich Town, but Bournemouth have had a few very good chances, but for the keeper's heroics they could have been in the lead, but it's still 1-0. Hopefully that will continue. But it's about Middlesbrough. If we win all the games, the odds are we'll go up. But a big game on Monday, of course, Easter Monday. I'll be back here at CVFM discussing the Watford game. But 1-0 today, Bamford the goal scorer. Were you at the game? What game did you see? Are you delighted? Are you cock-a-hoop? Are you a wee bit disappointed in one or two things? I don't know why you would be, but it's about your call. 01642 688 104. Give us a phone here on CVFM. Looking at the league table as it stands, and now obviously Middlesbrough's top, Bournemouth who are playing at this very minute as I've mentioned, then Norwich, Watford, Brentford and Wolves. That's the top six at the minute, but there's no doubt that will change because there is a game tonight. But please give us a phone on 01642 688 104. My eyes have gone, I can hardly see that screen, so I can't really see that. Let's go to Bill. Hiya Bill, good evening Bill.
Well then, my man.
Come on in Bill, you still cock-a-hoop like a dog with two tails. You're laughing.
A bit nervous late on, Ben. Look, last time we were talking, I said that they had to wrap that Gadgie up Woodgate in cotton wool, and they have to.
Hold on, Gadgie, is that a respectful word to a central defender?
Gadgie, yeah.
Okay then, right, that Gadgie Woodgate, we're glad he's back, yeah.
Yeah, well, what's wrong with that?
No, fine.
He's a
Boro talk, yeah.
He's a bloke. It's a common name for a bloke, isn't it?
Okay, yeah, of course it is. I was winding you up, Bill.
You know, I think he's magnificent, Bernie. And,
yeah.
I mean, if you looked at the Bournemouth game, I don't think the result would have been the same had he been there, because you know that centre forward ran him ragged, and they didn't know how to cope with him really.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, I was listening. I didn't go today, but I was listening to it, and apparently he wins everything, which he did when I was watching him. He wins everything in the and he's such a
he's cool, he's composed.
A calm influence, isn't he, Ben? He's calm. He doesn't get ruffled.
No, he doesn't. He's cool, composed, elegant, stylish, good in the air, reads the game well, and he's a coolant for all his teammates, and that's quite evident, and it was today.
Well, it is, and if, as I say, if you look at the goals conceded, that's been Middlesbrough's, plus points this year that they don't concede goals. I know. Again, they missed chances again today.
Yeah, with few good chances. Yeah, which was disappointing.
Yeah, it is disappointing. You know, I mean, I keep waiting for somebody to get absolutely battered, but it doesn't appear that it's going to happen.
There was one in the dying embers of the game, Bill, that Tomlin had went away. It was 1-1, and I still don't know it. We got a corner kick out of it. I just think he totally missed the target, but somebody must have touched it. But it was a great opportunity to capitalise, make it 2. But you know, come on, 1-0. We still won the game, but as you say, it's a nerve-wracking occasion now. You know,
well, actually, I think there's a couple of good points in advance, Bernie. I can't see Fulham are going to be safe, so they're not going to put it about a bit, are they?
Well, you wouldn't think so.
You know, they've got to come towards Fulham, so you would think they would beat them. Brighton, they'll be safe.
Can I just say, Bill, what you're saying is Fulham safe, more or less. They won't be bothered. You mentioned somebody else. Just remind yourself.
I didn't say they wouldn't be bothered, but they haven't got anything to play for.
Right. Can I just tell you, just a wee quick instance while it's in my head, you might remember the game. I've been involved in situations like this. We played Leicester City last game of the season.
Right, 2-1.
So for those that don't know, the younger generation that's listening, we're at Ayresome Park. We play Leicester. We have to want to go up. 1 or 2 results go away. Leicester, nothing to play for. Thinking of the beach. There was Peter Weir and Gary McAllister who went on to Liverpool fame. Both of them scored that day. They beat us 2-1. Now we went out there.
It was about 80 degrees. Can you remember, Ben?
Yes, I had the suntan
really,
lotion
really
on that day.
Yeah. Hot.
Yeah. And they beat us and they had nothing riding on it. Not going anywhere.
But everything went wrong that day. We didn't play, did we, Bernie, that day? I mean, I don't think we did. I mean, you got the goal in the second half. And it was it was one of those games. You know, and Leicester, I don't like Middlesbrough playing Leicester, actually.
No.
They're another team that they seem to have the X on us. But I think that's a different point to, you know, what's going on now. I can't see Brighton or Fulham laying their lives on the line here. You know, and I think that we have to. And that's a big plus. And I also think that they'll go to Watford and get a result. Now, what that result will be, I don't know, but Watford do concede goals, and if they can prop Woodgate up, I think that that's a key game. Watford, key game.
Without a doubt, I mean they're all key games now, and the old cliche, they're all
but
finals.
That one in particular, Ben.
I agree with you.
With a bit of luck, actually, I've been watching this first half here. Bournemouth
Ipswich,
Ipswich, by the way, Bournemouth, how they're getting beat, I don't know.
I know, there was a string of chances.
But Ipswich are a big, powerful team, and they're putting it about a bit. So, we'll wait and see. But, you see, Derby could win, and if Derby win, you know, that gives Middlesbrough a bit of leeway, really, because your two teams...
Yeah, Derby's playing Watford, of course.
Yeah. So tonight, it could look... With a bit of, you know, touch wood, it could be looking really rosy.
Well, the thing is, with the late kickoffs, Bill, I'm sure Bournemouth and Ipswich and Watford, I'm sure they'll be thinking, well, the players will know. With the technology now, they'll be looking, whether the manager says stay away from the results earlier on, they'll all know the score. So surely that gives us a boost and it sort of knocks them a bit.
Yeah, they must know the score.
They must know the score.
I just hope to go there positive, Bernie. I mean, positive. I don't see any value in, you know, playing for a non-each draw. I hope they go and give it a real go.
No, a draw away at Watford would be classed as still a good point, but
well, it would.
I'd like to go there.
As long as it wasn't, you know, defending from the 18-yard line with 10 behind the ball.
No. If we go there with a negative attitude and just try to clog it up, we'll get a negative result. We have to go there and be ourselves.
Absolutely.
You know, we've tried that in the past and went to teams and changed our game and system to suit our opponents. Look at Sheffield Wednesday. We went there, they were an average side. We changed the clientele, the system, and we get walloped.
Yeah.
You know, we shouldn't have changed for anybody. Yeah. We're as good as anybody.
Well, I think, you know, when you look back at this game, the be all and end all of everything was to get the 3 points. They've got the 3 points. And with a bit of luck, these two teams behind them could get scuppered tonight, and it'll look a great result. 1-0 or whatever. It'll look a great result. And as I say, I hope that they've got Woodgate in an ice bath and prop him up and wheel him out on Monday. And just, even if he only plays one more game, that's the game I would play him in.
Yeah. What about Bamford? You must compliment Bamford. Another goal to his credit. He's up the middle. He's looking better.
Yeah, I think he's a lovely footballer, Bernie.
He is a good footballer.
A good goal scorer. He looks good, doesn't he?
He's got a good footballing brain.
The two footballers we've got, Bamford and the lad who missed the goal late on.
Tomlin.
They're very, very easy on the eye, I think.
Yeah.
Vossen, hard worker, but doesn't score. But very, very hard worker. But I like Tomlin. I like watching Tomlin. And I like watching Bamford. Got a lot of skill. And I hope if they go up, I hope they buy him, Bernie.
Yeah, I mean, they were talking about people were talking last week. Are we going to sign Vossen? My own opinion on Vossen is, when I've seen him, he's looked good. He scored a hat trick. I've not went wow because he's not played enough. In his defence, he's not played enough games. Would I sign Vossen at this very minute? I'd wait to see what division we're in. If we go to the Premier, I'd probably say there's better players. No disrespect, there's better players, and we'll have more money at our disposal to rope them in. So that'd be my own opinion. Yeah. Bamford, I still don't think Chelsea will play him next year, whether he scores another 10th out of the end of the season. So I'd like to think we keep him.
I think they should. If they go up, I think we'll buy him. I think we'll buy him, Bernie.
I would hope so. I would hope they'd be looking to buy him. Yeah.
Because we haven't got any Sterlings on the horizon, have we? We're not going for him, are we?
Sterling, no, I think he's out of our league, isn't he? What was he wanting? 150 grand a week, something like that.
Just 150 grand.
But he says he's not in it for the money. Hey,
no, I saw the interview. Yeah, the money doesn't bother him.
Doesn't matter. Yeah,
he's just a young lad who wants to play football.
Yeah.
You know, my rear end is a rainbow. You know what I mean? I've never heard such crap in all my life. I mean, it's I think it's appalling, Bernie. He's a team that's looked after him, brought him through, and just when he's made it, he wants to turn his back on him. I can't understand.
Yeah, but hey, look, I understand the mentality of certain players. It's a business now, Bill. If he's not going to make it, Liverpool will make it. Liverpool have groomed him, made him the player he is, gave him the opportunity and the stage. But he's grasped it with both hands. He's now an England international. He'll have an agent that's saying, hold on a minute, so-and-so's on 150, 200. You deserve to be on this. The agent will be winding them up as well. And don't forget, again, Bill, in the player's defence, and some people will say, oh, shut up, the money's outrageous. And it is outrageous. But there is money in the game. And I've always defended players that are doing the business, get it while you can, because next week your leg could get broke and you could be finished. And the clubs don't give a damn thereafter. That's the flip side of the coin.
I mean, it's the amount of money, Bernie. I can't understand the difference between 100 and 150 when you take the tax away. It's minimal anyway, and it's the size of it. You know, what can you do? What can you do with it? I mean,
I'm sure I could pretty good use, Bill.
Yeah, well,
you'd have your yacht in the Mediterranean. You'd have your servants. You'd have a big house. You'd have 10 cars and $20, whatever, Bill. Look, you'd have everything.
I would not have it. I'd have a couple of dogs and I'd be quite happy. There you go.
I've had a few of them.
Okay, I hope, Benny, that we go to Watford and that we're positive.
Yeah.
And as I say, I hope that they've got Woodgate on ice, ready for the fray on Monday, and it's a great result, regardless what
it is. A great result, without doubt. I mean, Karanka,
and it could be with a bit of luck with these two games coming up, could be even a greater result.
Yeah, and Karanka was quoted after the game saying the performance wasn't brilliant, but the most important thing is we won. Well, everybody shares that opinion. Now's not the time for glamour. If you're going to be glamorous, you do it the first half of the season. If you continue it, brilliant, but now's the business end. Grind out results, get the results you require, and stay top of the league and get promoted. 70-80 million hanging there is the carrot.
Be glamorous when you're winning 4-0, Bernie.
Bill, enjoy, take me out. I know you're a big fan of that. Cheers. Thank you very much, Bill. Mate. Cheers, Bill. Bill's probably gone, take me out, what's that about? Some dating game on the telly, I don't know. My mate tells me about it, Jonathan. If you want to get involved, your views, 01642 688 104.
Your local station for Middlesbrough, CVFM. Bernie Does the Borough, proudly sponsored by Teesside's Healthy Living Pharmacies. There's always a pharmacy open near you 7 days a week. Ask your local pharmacist for free and confidential advice on smoking, alcohol, weight and sexual health issues. You don't even need an appointment. Visit teessidepharmacy.net to find out more. Have your say on the match. Unedited. Bernie Does the Borough on CVFM.
And if you want to get involved, your views are on 642 688 104. Today ended up Middlesbrough 1, Wigan Athletic 0. Patrick Bamford in the 19th minute. It was a deflected effort, just edge of the box, fairly central. He hit it, took a deflection, flew into the right hand corner. For me, it was still a good finish, and great result for Middlesbrough, and the fans are absolutely delighted and ecstatic, as they should be. Who's that we're holding up? Anyway, no, I can't see these days. No, I understand that. I know what it says. And thanks to Healthy Living Pharmacies for sponsoring the show. And if you want to watch us rather than listen, I don't know why you'd want to do both, you can get it via YouTube. Pam, hiya Pam.
Hiya, and
hello,
Ipswich is winning.
What?
Yeah, we're 1-0 at the moment.
You're joking.
In the second half.
What, they scored 2 in the second half? It's just started?
No, they've scored 1-0. But we're in the second half now. Bournemouth's losing at the moment.
Oh, they're losing? I thought you said they were winning.
No, Ipswich.
Oh, Ipswich is 1-1 Yeah, we mentioned that
we
earlier.
Want Bournemouth to lose.
I thought you were shouting that
No,
Bournemouth's 1 and 2. I was ready to jump out the window.
Man, it's tight again. There's loads of them won.
I know that.
Very tight.
I know that. It's going to be like that. We're going to go to the wire, Pam.
Yeah, I know.
Last game.
Mind you, I didn't think that they didn't really play well today. I had me sat on the edge of my bed, biting me fingernails.
I was biting my mate's fingernails. I was biting his toenails.
Yeah, so yeah, they didn't do it very well today.
Yeah. Hey, look, Pam, the bottom line is, it's not about glamour, it's not how good we play, it's about winning and getting all 3 points, and we did it, and that's it. We move on to Monday now and hopefully get something done at Watford.
Well, see what? No, there's another match tonight. Derby and...
Yeah, Derby and Watford. Derby and Watford, it's, is it quarter to 8 kick-off?
Yeah, 7 summers.
Yeah, quarter to 8 kick-off.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's big games being played today. Obviously, a little one tonight. There's one at this very minute. Ipswich are still beating Bournemouth, thankfully.
Yeah, well, at the moment... Well, I've switched it off now, and you rang. But when I switched off, Ipswich was 1-0.
Yeah, they're still getting beat 1-0, Pam. So that's good news for us Boro fans. So can we keep it going, Pam? Are you so confident we can finish top 2?
Yes, we will.
But you say that callously.
On the top 1, but we will finish, I think. Even if we don't, I think we'll win the playoffs.
You've got us in the playoffs. 1 minute you're saying we're going to go up, Pam. Now you've got us in the playoffs. Listen,
no,
Pam.
But I said if we don't stay up, I think we'll win the playoffs if we drop down.
All right, so we don't finish top 2. Well, how would you celebrate, Pam, if we get back in that Premier League?
Me?
Yeah. I'm thinking of doing a 40.
I told you, I've got £100 if they go up automatically.
Oh, you've got 100 quid on it.
I'll celebrate.
Pam, have you got a big front window?
No.
No, okay.
No, I'm in a little disabled bungalow, Benny.
All right, it's just...
Before I go out, what was that station you said? What did they call your station? I'm going to try and find it on the computer.
CVFM. C for Celtic. CV for Victor.
Yeah.
FM. 104.5.
Right, so I'll try and find it on the computer.
Okay, Pam. So, Pam, overall, you're delighted with the day's result and you're confident.
I'm delighted. Let's hope Woody can carry on playing till the end.
Yeah, Jonathan Woodgate, again, cool and composed.
Clean sheet when he's playing.
Yeah, Woody's he's a great player when he plays, and he's got talent in abundance.
Yeah.
Despite his age, I mean, he's getting on now, but he just he spreads his confidence everywhere in the park.
Yeah, I was disappointed he didn't get us another striker.
Yeah, I was a wee bit disappointed. We roped in 2 defenders that I can't pronounce their name. I did try in the Legends Lounge today, and thanks to the people who were in the Legends Lounge, there was a fantastic crowd there. But the 2 names on the bottom of the team sheet, I've got the team sheet here, Pam. I can't even pronounce them, but anyway.
No, I couldn't either.
Number 29, his can't pronounce his second name. Yeah. And the other one was Dwight, number 32.
Which, no, I thought he would have gone for another striker.
He possibly tried.
We're not over-bonded with goals, are we?
No, this is the thing, you know, when we score a goal, we're hoping to add a second or a third to really calm the nerves, but that's not been the case. We keep, sort of worrying right up to the final minute, you know.
Yeah. Well, imagine they didn't keep giving the ball away on the second half.
Yeah, a lot of the passing was iffy today, a lot going astray.
Yeah.
It wasn't a game for the purists. We can't deny that. But as I say,
we won, and that's the main thing.
We could have scored 1 or 2 at the end in the dying embers, but wasn't to be, Pam. But we'll take it and we'll move on to the game on Monday. How do you think it will go Monday, Pam?
I'm hoping another win.
What's your gut instinct? They're a good team. They're up there. Watford's 4th at the minute and 72
I know, well,
points.
we're up there as well, aren't we?
Of course we are.
Watford, I think they're winning today.
Yeah.
I think that's it. I know all.
No, Derby Watford's later on. The kick-offs tonight.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like kick-off.
All the 6 teams below us, they've all won.
Yeah. All we can do, Pam, keep doing our best, keep winning our games,
and
concentrating ourselves.
Well,
as it stands at the minute, Pam, we've got 75, Bournemouth in 73, if they get beat, it'll remain like that. Norwich in 73, Watford 72, obviously with the game to come, Brentford 69 and Wolves 68. So there's your top 6. And Derby, well, they've dropped down 67 points and they're outside the playoffs, so that's where we're sitting, Pam.
There was a rumour went round that he was getting rid of Bottom, but he come on and said he wasn't.
No, I think he was asked the question, is he going to sign Boston, and as yet he doesn't know. Well, he's not come out and says point blank he's going to sign them or let him go, but he has said about Callis, who played right back today, that he's on his way. So
I know, I just said we want another scorer.
Another scorer, well, if we get in the Premier League, we'll need more than the 4 we've got.
If I had some good legs, I'd go and help him.
Oh, Pam, there's nothing up with my legs, I can go and help them.
Right, well, go on then.
No, I'm only joking, Pam. I can't get out of bed in the morning. Listen, Pam, thanks very much for your call.
Okay,
much appreciated. Okay, cheers, Pam. Cheers.
Radio 145.
104.5 CVFM, Hut of Middlesbrough for the Middlesbrough public.
Right,
okay,
I'll
cheers.
try and find it.
Cheers, Pam. Thank you.
Okay,
cheers,
bye.
Pam. And the team sheet today was Dimmy in goal. Friend, Gibson, Ledbitton, Clayton, Reach, Voss and Bamford, Callis, Adoma and Woodgate. That was the starting 11. On the bench was Connor Ripley, the reserve goalkeeper. Kike Tomlin, Whitehead. I said I'm not going to try and pronounce his name. The new lad, Fernando, we'll call him. And then there was Dwight, and then Adam Forshaw was the other substitute. Just a wee plug for the dinner. It's not my dinner. The ex-Boro players, I can hold it up because you can see it if you're watching on YouTube. It's the ex-Boro players dinner, and it's Friday the 1st of May, and players that are going to be there's going to be players like John Hickton, the great John Hickton, Ian Gibson, Malcolm Smith, Ian Bailey, John Craggs, Billy Ashcroft, Stewie Baum, David Armstrong, Spike Armstrong, Frank Spraggan, David Mills, David Hodgson. I think Graham Souness is going to be there. There's a host of players, and it's £40 per head or table, a 10 for 400. You can call the Thistle Hotel because that's where it's being held. It's 01642 232 000, or you can email jimplatt@me.com. So there's a wee plug for the dinner. I'll be there, I'm looking forward to it. Let's go to Brian. Hi, Brian.
Yes, good evening, Bernie.
Come on in, Brian. How are you feeling tonight? Are you buzzing?
Well, yeah, you've got to be, because we're sitting top. Barnsley are getting beat at the moment.
Yes, still getting beat 1-0.
And, it's going to come down to odd decision here and there now, isn't it?
Yes.
We're stuck with what we have now.
Yeah.
We hope we could score more goals, but let's hope Bamford keeps using that bit of magic.
Mm-hmm.
Constantopoulos, the great saves and that, give no penalties away.
They had a great... I've not mentioned
it. It could come down to referees, bad decisions, don't give them the chance. It couldn't come down to that now, Bernie, couldn't it?
Yeah, it could, Brian. I always say that myself. It come down to hitting somebody's backside, a deflection, a penalty for or against it. There's a lot of luck involved now, and it's going to go to the wire. But you mentioned Dimmy, and I have not mentioned it, and thanks for reminding me. Dimmy had a great save second half.
Yeah.
Goal-bound effort.
Magnificent
wasn't save. It? Yeah. Great
and
save.
And that's when they started off, half an hour to go, where we started getting a bit jittery, didn't we?
Yes.
We would... For some reason, our team starts getting spread, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You know, no. From that last half an hour, even though we created a couple of chances, Our defence and attack strikers it's too far away from the midfield, isn't it? It gets disjointed. I keep saying this, Bernie, and it'll come down to luck. We're giving it all we've got. Ledbetter and Clayton give it all they got, but they do not drive the team forward enough, do they?
Well, they're in there at the minute. They're breaking up play. If I'm honest, I thought Ledbetter looked a fairly bit leggy today. Clayton's balls, a few of them went astray. There was more went astray than accurate passing. But they still the Beavers in that midfield area. They'll give it their all. They're honest, and I can't knock them for that. But they weren't at their best today.
But when you're looking at Bournemouth now, they just haven't got two central mid players or us. Even though Ledbetter's done great this season with the penalties and all that and odd games, we get disjoint because of they just do not drive the team forward enough, Bernie. And even
what do you mean when you say don't drive the team forward? Do you mean with the way they play, or do you mean vocally?
Yeah, so it's just side balls and in the main, isn't it?
No, there was a few today over the top, but there were too much on them, too much pace on the ball.
First half, but but in the end now we've got what we've got, and it's going to come down to professionalism, I think, to give you the best chance.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you're watching Bournemouth here, Bernie. They could have scored 7, but they're getting beat 1-0.
I know. I was watching it.
That's football, isn't it?
I was watching it in the lounge, and everybody packed lounge today, and we were watching it as before I came to radio, and the amount of chances they had and they missed, or the keeper saved them, and you're thinking, how on earth are they getting beat?
Even more chances for them, you know.
Is there, right?
Really, Bernie.
Right.
But I mean, that's football, though, isn't it? I mean, we're in a position today where we're against Wigan. We didn't get the second goal.
No.
And you don't know what to do for the best, do you?
No.
You know, you're thinking about things, and you know. I mean, we're in prime position. If
pole position as it stands a minute,
even if they draw this match here, and hopefully Derby does a favour.
We can only do what we can do. At the minute we're top, we've won the game, we go to Watford confident, getting something. We don't want a repeat of the Bournemouth game where we get battered or whatever, or outclassed. We go there and hopefully stamp our authority in the game and get something out of it.
Well, what you want the second match today is have a real hard match against Derby, don't you? They're away at Derby.
Yes.
Derby run them into the ground and that for us on Monday. It comes down to things like that now, Bernie, doesn't it?
Yeah, of course it does.
Gives you that bit of an edge, you know.
Everything kicks in now, and you know, over the course of the season I've heard tired, fatigue and loads of games. Well, playing today and then on Monday is a tall order for some players, especially as it gets late on in the season, and this could be the difference, separate the wheat for the chaff, Brian.
I don't think it's actually that with us, Bernie. I think it's just we are what we are. You know, I think you've come to this stage of the season, and as you say, we're up for it and all that. We you know, but it seems to me as though we haven't got that bit of class in central midfield. You know,
I think you maybe been a wee bit unfair to live better.
Clayton, for me.
Go on.
You take what you can from him if we get promotion, Bernie.
Well,
Players, if we get promotion, they'll never ever be assailable again. We get promotion. The likes of Clayton, they're not going to be good enough, Bernie. Well done to him, but he's what he is.
You don't think he can make the transition into a Premier player?
No, in no way. I mean, we've seen in this division, haven't we?
But Brian, I remember going into top flight. I remember, there was one guy from Newcastle, of all the places, questioning would I do it in the top flight. Fortunately, I did. But there was people questioning me, and you have to question people until they actually go and see them for a season in the top flight to see if they can adjust or if they can cut it.
Totally different scenario with you, Bernie. The thing was that you would score goals anyway because of your instinct and that. You know, I mean, you'll admit that was your main part of your game. You weren't a chaser back. You were no good in the air.
Dead right.
You could put the ball in the net, couldn't you? I mean, we've seen £50 million players inside the air that couldn't do it as good as you. Actually, a good chance fell to you. You knew when to get into it quick, your instinct. You'd toe poke it. You'd know how to place it.
Yeah.
You knew when you had a bit of power in it. Amazingly, £1 million. We look at this. You mentioned Sterling tonight. Sterling. He's not a centre forward. Sterling.
No, he's a winger.
Right.
Yeah.
He cannot finish for Toffee, Bernie.
He gets the odd goal, but should get more with what he's having.
He can't score from 3 yards half the time. And this is a player who's supposed to be worth, what, 50 million?
Yeah. It's like Theo Walcott. I look at Theo Walcott. Years ago they were saying he could be Henry. If he gets moved in the middle, he can score goals. He lacks that composure to be a ruthless finisher on a regular basis. Too quick, doesn't pull the reins on. And he's a good player, and he's exciting, and he's quick, but he's not going to be a ruthless goal finisher and scorer.
I think we only have centre forward, and it'll be a big thing on what we do. Can Bamford keep the magic going, keep getting the goals, that bit of magic? That will make the difference. For me, he is the only centre forward we have at the club, or I would personally hold on to.
Right. What, you would get rid of Tomlin as well?
Well, maybe Tomlin you could keep, but I wasn't saying that like out and out striker with it.
Voss and Kiki?
No. They just wouldn't.
Well, but why?
Not scoring goals in this division, Barry.
Do you know? And this guy might be listening. He sits when I come out the lounge before the game, or where I sit and take my seat. There's a guy sitting in front. He's a character. He's loud and he says his piece. And he turned around and he says to me, "My mate, do you know what? That Adam Reach is the worst player I've seen." I went, "You're having a laugh." He
tried his heart out today.
Yeah, but this is some of the in some people's heads. This is what they believe.
No, he's wrong.
Well, I know he's wrong, but again,
I would like to have seen a bit more of him going forward.
Yeah, he didn't have a great game.
The left side today, Bernie.
Yeah.
No problems down the left side, hardly. It was all the other side, wasn't it? Because we know that he gives good cover to Friend. They play well together.
Yeah.
You know, I would stick with them to win the Premiership now. I thought Friend mightn't be at first, but he always tries to drive the team forward, doesn't he, George Friend?
Oh, he does, without a doubt. Great attitude, George, to the game.
All action.
What about
and I think they worked well together on that side.
Yeah, they did. I don't think they were as adventurous as I liked. I've seen them in better form going forward, but defensively, good. But on the right, what about Callis? What about Callis and Adoma?
Well, Adoma kept giving the ball away, didn't he?
I thought he tried first half. I thought he was fairly decent. He was the only guy getting crosses in. Callis, why do you think the managers went on record as saying Callis is off at the end of the season?
He said he's going.
I thought he said. I thought I read somewhere. Is that right? That he's going.
I never heard that.
I'm sure.
You'll be right.
I'm sure. I read.
What you're saying? Why isn't he playing Fredericks like?
Well, I heard before the team sheet came out that Fredericks was going to be playing, but obviously it wasn't a team sheet. Callis played, and I'm thinking, well, why would you mention that Callis is going to be on his way?
Yes. You think you wouldn't say out yet, would you?
No, you just hold it back. I'd maybe tell the lad to his face and say, listen, we don't need to make it public, but you're not going to be here coming into the season.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
And but as I say, hopefully they can hold on Ipswich, and and we're in prime position, and because I think Derby can do well in the game today. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's bouncing about here, Bernie? I'm watching it.
Oh, talk me through it, Brian. Talk me through it.
It was a Melly and Ipswich penalty. They've cleared it now, though.
Good old Ipswich. Well done, Mick McCarthy's 11.
But it'll come down to you got to really want to give it everything, which we are. We are what we are, and you don't know what to do for the best now. It's down to decisions, penalties.
Well, the thing is now,
magic.
You look at Karanka's team selection now. He's not tinkering with the team as much. Yeah, maybe one or two changes. Bamford's up the middle.
Reaching, I thought Reach again might have been the
Whitten
one
boy
that took off Picton and that. But give him his due, he hasn't, and I think that's right because that side is solid with them two,
Yeah.
And I mean, he might. The only change he might keep doing is bringing Tomlin on, isn't it? Or starting with Tomlin.
Yeah.
There might be that one. Mm-hmm. The only other one would be if. Has he give a penalty?
I don't say that, Brian.
No, he hasn't. Offside he's give.
Brian, you're turned into a commentator. The CVFM commentator over here, Brian.
70 minutes done, Bernie.
Right, okay, I'm going to try and get it up here.
And let's hope the Ipswich hold on be a great result for us. And I think Derby can help us as well. But as I say, let's just give it all we've got. Let's stop just grabbing all the people in the penalty areas and that. Don't give the referees the...
Brian, I want to... I don't know if you read Evening Gazette. I do a column, done it for many years.
I missed you on Thursday gone, Bernie. Did you mention about players?
No, what I mentioned about, and I mentioned it in the lounge today, I was mentioning well done for the 30,000 that turned up for the England game.
Oh, yeah.
But then I had my say, And I was having a go at the missing thousands at the Riverside. But I did say in the column, I did say, I know the reduced prices, and if you're unemployed, I sympathise greatly, and I totally understand that. But the question is, if you're not the Riverside now, when we've been in the top 6 for the majority of the season, we've got a few games remaining, if you're not coming to support your team, where are you?
Brian, I don't go a lot, so I'm to blame as well.
Right, okay, you're an honest man.
Now, I'm going to try and get there a couple of the home games.
Right.
I can't afford to go all the time.
Well, Brian, we sympathise. If it's down to money, we sympathise. But what my reasoning is, if we get in the Premier League, and everybody hopes we do, and I certainly hope we do, we will have another 8,000-10,000 in that crowd. Now, if they can't afford it this season, how on earth can they afford it next season in the top flight when the prices are greater? Where are they getting the money from? They're not going to get a job overnight.
Be there now.
So I think there's a lot of glory supporters out there, and if you're one of them, you should be ashamed of yourself.
No,
don't support your team.
Glory support. It's a genuine reason. I genuinely can't afford it, Bernie.
And that's fine. And the guys out there that can't afford it like yourself, Brian, sympathise. I really mean that, and I totally understand that. But there is guys that's sitting in the pubs drinking 10, 15 pints, half cup, watching it. They've got money, but they don't want to go and support their team. But when Man United come next season, hopefully, and City and Chelsea, they'll all be coming in their droves.
You're spot on, Bernie.
Yeah, I am.
True,
they don't like it. Some of the fans are having a go at social network. Bernie, if it was £5-10, we'd be there. Hold on a minute. Next year, the prices will be
Let's see if we get there, Benny, see what happens.
I know, we'll moan about it then. Brian, listen. Thank very much.
Cheers, Bernie.
Cheers, thank you very much, Brian. Right. And thanks to people who joined us in the Legends today. My guest was Jim Platt. Jim Platt, who I mentioned about the dinner, he's holding the dinner, but he hosts one of the other rooms, but I've not spoken to Jim throughout the season, so I thought I'd get him in. He was good crack. And we're talking about professionalism and loyalty. Today, professionalism exists, but loyalty doesn't. Every player, 1 or 2 years, they kiss the badge and the head off to pastures new. Jim Platt, I was fortunate, I played 382 games. I think that's a great return for a 25 grand signing. But Jim Platt, 481 appearances for Middlesbrough Football Club between the 6. 481. Now that's loyalty. No, these guys that flirt in and out, play 50, 60 games, everybody raves about it. True professionals like Jim Platt, loyalty. 01642 688 104. Give us a phone, give us a tinkle, discuss today's game.
Your local station for Middlesbrough, CVFM. Bernie Does the Borough, proudly sponsored by Teesside's Healthy Living Pharmacies. There's always a pharmacy open near you 7 days a week. Ask your local pharmacist for free and confidential advice on smoking, alcohol, weight and sexual health issues. You don't even need an appointment. Visit teessidepharmacy.net to find out more. Bernie's back, and he's now on CVFM. It's Bernie Does the Borough.
And if you want to get involved in your views, hold on to get my ears in. 01642 688 104. Every week I have a problem with it. You get bigger ears. 01642 688 104. Give us a phone. Discuss today's game. If you've just walked in the door and you've been out shopping or doing what you're doing, Middlesbrough beat Wigan Athletic 1-0. Patrick Bamford in the 19th minute grabbed the goal. As it stands at the minute, Ipswich Town are still beating Bournemouth 1-0, 74 minutes on the clock. 01642 688 104 if you want to give us a phone. Let's go to Jono. Hi, Jono.
Good evening, Bernie. Have you got your ears in?
I've got my ears in. Go on then, Jono. What game did you see today?
Well, I was quite disappointed with today, Bernie. I mean, obviously I haven't been down the Riverside recently. Obviously I've seen what I can on the telly watching the games, but I was a bit disappointed with the performance today. I mean, yeah, results matter, but if we play like that for the remaining, 6 games left, I don't think we'll be in the top 2, Bernie. Honestly, don't play like that we did today.
But Jono,
we need to...
You're talking about the glamour, and we're not really playing as great as we know we can, but is the be-all and end-all not about results? We could have went out and played like Real Madrid today and get beat 1-0.
Yeah, you're right. But in saying that, if we go, it's obviously Watford on Monday, if we go and play like we did today, they'll turn us over 3 or 4-0. That's
a valid point. I don't know so much 3 or 4, but that's a valid point. We need to step up when we're away from home against teams like that.
I have confidence that we can do it. It's just today we just looked a little bit tired, Bernie. Like, people weren't coming to the ball to make the pass, and passes were going astray. We found it hard to keep possession and get the balls in the final third. I mean, all that resulted in was Clayton and Leadbitter, long ball over the top.
Yeah.
And with Bamford and Vossen, they're not the lads to do that. If you've got Tomlin on, fair enough, he's a big lad, he can hold it up, but they're not. They're the kind of players who you want it to defeat. Bamford, you know.
Yeah, I agree with that, Jono. You're right in what you say. The balls that we were looking to play over the top, you need somebody that's super quick, and we've not got that. A ball over the top to beat a back four, we need somebody that's lightning quick, greyhound quick, and we've not got that in the team. So as you say, we need it to feet or to chest. We don't really need it in the air because we've no real aerial threat. But there was too many. You've hit it, but I totally agree. A lot of the passes were going astray, were sloppy. Again, look, I can't camouflage it. It wasn't a great game, wasn't great in the eye, wasn't a great advert for the championship, but this is the way it's going to be, I'm afraid, for the remaining 6 games. Just have to
we've got to refresh, and obviously quickly, because Monday will soon be here. And I mean, if you offered me a point now, I'd snap your hands off with a point down to Watford. I think that will be a great, 4 points from these 2 games. I would have taken that beforehand. Yeah. And then obviously we've just got to take each game as it is. I mean, obviously I see Ipswich are beating Bournemouth at the moment, and obviously at the end of the day, it might be back in our own hands, if we win the remaining games. Mm-hmm. But we're just going to have to keep it going. And I mean, I hope he makes a few changes for Monday, Bernie. I mean, I've heard obviously Fredericks, apparently he was available for today. He was fit, so obviously didn't include him. But I'd bring him back in at right back. Yeah,
Fredericks obviously for me he's the pick of the bunch at right back. When he's fit, he should be in. Obviously he must always struggle.
A bit better than Callas. Mm-hmm. I mean Woodgate. I mean. I've forgotten how far Ayala's away, but as soon as he's fit, I'd get him back in the team, take out Woodgate.
Take out Woodgate. Woody was good today, wasn't he? Cool, composed.
Yeah, he was alright, Bernie, but I don't know if it's his age, I always just think like he's a little bit slow compared to...
hold on. The late, great Bobby Moore wasn't super quick, but his brain was quick. He thought away ahead of everybody else. Woodgate's got that experience to read things. Doesn't he need that explosiveness? Do you know what I'm
comparing Woodgate to Bobby Miller?
No, Roger.
Aye, more like Roger Miller.
No, seriously, come on. Woody's a class act when he plays. No, I'm just regarding pace-wise. Bobby Moore was never a super quick central defender, and yet he played against Pelé, who was very quick, and all these Brazilians and great players in the world, but he was never exposed because he's lack of pace.
Would you keep them two? A centre back.
If Woody could guarantee he's going to play every game, I would be more than delighted to keep Woody in. Yeah, I would.
Man, that's the only problem I have with, well, not with Woodgate himself, Bernie, but last week at Bournemouth, obviously watched it on the telly, and Leadbitter started the game, captain, and then if you remember, Woody came on after, was it 20 minutes, half an hour for Ayala?
Yeah.
And then Leadbitter handed the captain's armband to Woodgate, and I'm thinking, hang on, he started the game as captain. Why, just because he's coming off the bench, why is he giving over the captain's armband to him? Now, I don't agree with that.
No.
And then, obviously, again, he started today, Woodgate as captain. But Leadbitter's been our captain all season.
Yeah, but maybe there's a captain, there's a club captain, isn't there? The sort of those two guys are the two captains. Is that the way it works?
But am I right in thinking that just because you don't have the experience, that doesn't make you captain, surely?
No, for me the captain should be the guy that's vocal, that leads by example, who, ruffles his teammates up. And to be fair, I don't think either of them very vocal. I don't really see Leadbitter really rollicking somebody or clencing his fist. Woody certainly doesn't do that. I like captains I didn't like them when I played with them, but you accept it when they have a go at you if you don't do something right. Try to G you up. Roy Keane did it.
Yeah. Roy Keane. He is vocal compared to what we've seen over recent years. I can't remember anybody being vocal since Boateng. Can't remember any real leader of getting the team and saying, "Come on." I mean, I saw Leadbitter a few times today. He was going around the lads, clapping them and saying, "Come on, let's do this."
Yeah, I did see that as well.
I just think it's unfair that obviously Woodgate coming off the bench and then suddenly getting the armband. I think, well, why can't he be captain? Woody's got the experience, yeah, I agree, but your captain is surely different to your experience. I mean, look at Sunderland. Cattermole is more of a captain than John O'Shea and Wes Brown with all their Premier League appearances. Mm-hmm. I just think that, I don't know, I just don't agree with that.
So Leadbitter would be your captain. Leadbitter would be your captain.
Yeah, because, he's played most of the season as captain. I think he hasn't done a bad job up to now, looking where we are, so... Are
we no splitting hairs here? We're not being pedantic, picking up little things, captaincy?
All I'm thinking, Bernie, is how would you feel? If you were led there, you were captain...
I wouldn't be happy. I'd go and say, hold on. I would be knocking on the door of the manager and saying, hold on a minute. Yeah. I've been captain 40 games this season. I was your top scorer up until Bamford overtook me. And I've been one of your top performers, arguably one of your player of the years. Why are you taking it off me? Or is he taking it off him to take a wee bit of weight off him? Have you ever looked at the psychological effects of being the captain, the leader? You know, maybe he's thinking, you know what, you've done brilliant. We'll get to Woody. He's refreshed, revitalised, not played many games. He can take that captain side and you concentrate in your game. Then maybe that's it. I don't know. Yeah. But if I was led better, I would want to be captain.
I just thought I'd bring it up now, Bernie, because there wasn't a lot to talk about from today's game, if I'm honest. I mean, I think it was 2 attempts on target each. But I just wanted to highlight that from when I saw that last week. But we've just got to keep it going. Like I've said, my only concern is up front. We've got to keep Bamford fit, because God forbid, if he got injured, I think that's automatic promotion over.
I thought that myself today, John. I mean, he was the liveliest, the bunch. He was the most creative in attempts at goal. He scored the goal. He'd won by the post, one at the goalkeeper. And you're right, you know, forbid if he was to get injured, then who would take his mantle and score the goals? Because Bamford, he's looking at business now. He's up the middle where he wants to play. He's rightful position. He's looking the part. He's scoring goals. And you're right. Who would take his mantle if he get injured? But hey, look, he's not, since he arrived for Chelsea. I don't think he's been injured, has he?
No.
Hold on, touch wood. Yeah. Touch wood.
I'm touching my head. But
hold on, I better touch mine.
Obviously, Vossen, we're going to decide about him at the end of the season. Would you keep him?
Vossen?
Yeah.
I mentioned to a previous caller, Jono, if we get into the Premier League, I'd have to say, well, hold on, I've not really played him a great deal in the Championship. I've seen flashes of what he can do, but no disrespect to Vossen. If we get there, he's helped us get there. But I'd have to say there'll be better strikers, and we'll have more money at our disposal to rope in a better striker. That's my own opinion. And if I was Vossen, I wouldn't be kidding myself. I'd know that myself. You know, if I'd played a few games or a handful of games and scored a hat-trick, which was great, but flirted in and out. Today, didn't really impose himself. If I wasn't to get signed, I wouldn't be stupid enough to think I deserve a contract. I'd be thinking, Premier League, they've got more money now, get a bigger, better player. You know, I wouldn't be overly surprised if Vossen wasn't here next season.
No, I think he's had a bit of bad luck though, because for me he works hard, he gets in good positions, and I mean we forget his hat-trick down at Millwall.
No,
he has produced brilliant performances.
Yeah.
But he obviously, like you said, he just needs to do it more regularly.
Well, again, in his defence, he's not started every game. He's missed a lot of games. He's been on the bench. He's been in the stand. He's travelled and not played. So, well, he's not been given a great deal of games in his defence. But I've not seen enough to say he deserves a 3-year contract at whatever a week. I've not seen enough of that.
Yeah. No. So on Monday, obviously going to Watford, do you reckon we're going to go 4-3-3 again?
Jono, as it stands at the minute, it's not about formations. It's about going there, giving it your best shot, hoping and praying you get a wee bit of luck and fortune, and trying your damnedest to win a game of football. You know, we know that we can play different ways. We can play 3-3, 4-3-3. We can play 5 at the back, 3 mid. We can do a host of things. We've seen it over the season, but it's how the players' mentality is now. We don't want to go to Watford the way we did Bournemouth. It was on the telly. It was highlighted our deficiencies. We were poor on the day, outclassed and outpassed on the day. We don't want it to happen again on Monday. We can't afford it to happen now. This is really massively. We need to stay in the hunt now.
Oh, it is. But I think his formation will speak volumes, because for me, if he goes the 4-4-2 like today, Bernie, then for me, he's looking for a draw. Whereas if we go 4-3-3, I'll think, right, you know, we're going for this. He's going to attack them. Because, I mean, you're talking Bamford, you know, Boxer.
But Jono, again, you can play 5 in the midfield. People will class it as negative. But if you've got 3 or 4 guys that want to get forward as often as they can, it can be positive. People think wing backs is, you know, fairly negative. That can be super positive as well. It's about the players in the positions and in the formation you're playing. If they've got a forward-thinking mentality, the majority have, then it can be a positive formation. Although on paper it may be negative. But if we go there with a negative mentality, we'll get a negative result. We have to go there, no willy-nilly and gung-ho, but we need to go there and believe we can win the game. Now's the time. Now's the time. John, listen, thank you very much for your call.
No problem.
Cheers, John. Thank you very much. Cheers, mate. If you want to get involved, your views on 1642 688 104.
Your local station for Middlesbrough, CVFM. Bernie Does the Borough, proudly sponsored by Teesside's Healthy Living Pharmacies. There's always a pharmacy open near you 7 days a week. Ask your local pharmacist for free and confidential advice on smoking, alcohol, weight and sexual health issues. You don't even need an appointment. Visit teessidepharmacy.net to find out more. Bernie tells it as it is, with no bull. Bernie Does the Borough on CVFM.
And if you want to get involved in your views, obviously running out of time. We did start late because I was late in getting to here to CVFM Towers in the heart of Middlesbrough. Obviously I was doing the Legends Lounge today. It was jam-packed, great atmosphere in there. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and thanks to my guest Jim Platt, and we also had Paul Smith from Maximo Park. Hi Rolf, last but not least, it could be Rolf. Hey, I'm great, Rolf. How are you?
Yeah, superb. I've got the wee man here. He wants a word with you after.
That's grand. We will talk to the wee man. So come on then. Hello, kid. How are you, son?
Yeah, we went to the match today. I thought both teams were forward.
Yeah, it wasn't a great game. Yeah. But
we had 4 shots on target. We're all from one man.
Yeah, Bamford.
Yeah, that's it. I can imagine if he wasn't there today. I'm thinking. The other lad up front, it just...
Vossen.
It never got going, did it?
Did you expect more going to the game? You know, you went with your son and there was 23, I think.
I'm thinking, go there. We got that goal after, 25 minutes?
No, 19, I think it was about 19. And they're second bottom of the league. I went there, I'm not a betting man, but I thought we'd have won about 2-0. I don't think it was going to be easy, but I thought 2-0.
Well, I had 3-0 on.
Right. Okay.
So I'm thinking we've got one there. Get another one.
Can I just say, Rolf? Sorry to cut across you. 87 minutes, 1-1. Bournemouth have scored. Back to you. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I've just watched it.
Oh right, okay. You know for me then.
Oh, it's 2-1.
No, it's 1 each, man. I've just slipped in. I've looked at the screen now. I've just changed the channel. Kenwin Jones. They're typical Sunderland lads. Yeah, go on then. So back to the game.
Yeah, I tell you, I don't even know what to say. We couldn't get forward. Their full-backs, I think, they nullified our 2 winners.
Yeah.
They held them up and let everybody else come do the tackling. George Friends, and there was a bloke at a great point behind him, sat behind me, Bernie.
Go on, what was his point?
George Friends, he says, this is the point, and I thought, yeah, you're right. He said, if you want to be a better full-back, look at Gary Neville's goal-scoring record. Gary Neville got in the box more times than Ryan Giggs, but scored 4 goals.
Yeah, but no disrespect.
George Friends gets in the box and he's looking at passes, smash it in the back of the net, mate.
Are you're thinking, yeah, have a go?
Did I do some of the positions there, Benny, when you were playing? It's in the back of the net.
Yeah, I know, but don't forget, George Friends playing with Middlesbrough. You know, Neville was playing with Manchester United in their greatest days.
I don't care, Benny. I don't care. If I'm in that position, all right, Will, you're in that position, you're approaching the 6-yard box. What are you doing? You've never even put it on the penalty spot. You just like try to square it.
No, I know where you're coming from. It's an attitude. School's an attitude.
Pump it into the back of the net. Messing about with it.
Yeah.
That's what frustrated me today, Benny. And they're number 4. I don't know what to call him at the
Harry
back.
Maguire.
He got the man of the match for me, like.
Well, I tell you what, you said, you listen, Harry Maguire, he was a big heavy set lad, centre half, well number 4. Yeah. I thought.
I'll tell you what, Bernie.
What?
I'll tell you what, you know what they've been doing Wigan all week for training, running round him. That's how
exactly, running around him. I looked at him, I thought he doesn't look athletic. He's as slow as a cat horse.
He got 2/3 of that whole field. At one point, he was over the halfway line.
He was your man of the match.
Yeah.
You weren't getting free drink at the Riverside, were you? I thought he was a big stiffy. No, I don't mean no tablet stiff. I mean
he was that much of a stiffy.
Couldn't he move?
We had 4 shots on side. Every time the ball went into the box, He just ran into the space. Jogged into the space. Dormer couldn't get round.
No, he wobbled into the space. He didn't jog.
Vossen was about as much good as a pet wasp.
Yeah, Vossen was in.
So what are we doing?
But the objective today, yeah, Rolf, I'm digesting what you says. But the objective today was to go. If we can play with a bit of glamour, great. Never really happened, but we scored the goal. We kept a clean sheet. 3 points on the board. Top of the league. Wow.
That'll do. If it comes down to goal difference, Bernie, and you can see what we can not score goals.
No, that is still a problem. Well, that's a wee question talking about goals. Do you think, were you surprised that the manager brought 2 defenders in and didn't bring another forward in? No,
because he's a defender. He's Brian Clough. Although Clough was an attacker, he's petrified of losing a goal. He'd rather be 0-0 than win 4-3.
Right.
I'm telling you, you can see it all over. And I tell you how it went for Ricky Lambert at Liverpool.
Yeah, but is that a realistic target? Would we have got him?
Not to buy in this loan.
Yeah, the loan. I know, but would he have came to Middlesbrough for Liverpool?
No, just in the loan market.
Yeah, I know, but he has to. What I'm saying, Rolf, he has to agree. He might have. So you know what, Middlesbrough, you're having a laugh. Possibly, I don't know. Maybe Karanka tried to get 1 or 2 strikers. Maybe they just weren't available.
Perhaps he did, but the ones that he's brought in, and he's trying to. I mean, Tomlin's on the bench, Kiki is on the bench, and he played. Paddy Bamford was down after 75 minutes for cramp because he was doing Boston's work.
Freddie Bamford. You called him Freddie Bamford.
Yeah, well, I'm saying he was knackered because he's doing Boston's work. He was the only one that did it up the day. And that Kiki, Bernie, I've only played at semi-professional level or whatever, but I've watched, I've trained, done coaching badges and stuff. Mm-hmm. How many times does that Callas,
Callas, right back.
Does he need to know that McLean, is it McLean?
Yeah,
has only got a left foot.
Yeah, McLean.
He showed him on the outside every time. And I was thinking, have you got a brain? Are you playing with blindfold on, son?
Hey, listen, Rolf, I'm going to get back and watch the game, the whole game for 90 minutes to see how bad that lad Harry Maguire was that you raved as a good player.
I'm telling you, he absolutely, he didn't, a bit of heavy breathing and Adoma didn't want to know. He pretended to jog into a bit of space and Vossen give up. I'm thinking,
Rolf, listen, we're going to cut short. Thank very much for your call and contribution. Cheers. Thank very much. Cheers. Are you there, kid? Where's his son? He says we're putting his son on. So, see you later, son. Ta-ra, mate. He's in the distance. Anyway, today ended up Middlesbrough 1. A goal from Patrick Bamford in the 19th minute. Sealed the victory to all 3 points against Wigan Athletic. I'll be back here on Monday. I think it's the back to 12 kickoff. 4-5. If it changes, I will tweet or you'll hear it for CVFM. Thanks for joining us and hear from you Monday. Thanks very much.
Bernie Does the Borough. This show has been an independent production on CVFM.